presidential candidate from the north in that particular party, and of course, saying that the presidency must go to the south and the other party that's in our alliance. And that's really to weaken our own party. And,
so you see some war of attrition.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So, it's happening. And I mean, with all of this, you are hopeful that Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwanso might be on the same poster, on the same ballot for the same party. But which party could that be? Could it be the NNPP or the Labour Party? Because now merger is almost impossible now. You probably will use either of these political parties. Would it be NNPP or Labour Party?
Well, my belief is that there are so many modalities that can be worked out to work together. It's just a matter of getting the right caliber of people to sit down and look at the situation as it is. Now, you see, the major issue as it stands today is the issue of who becomes the president, who becomes the vice president. And I believe this is the time really to advise, especially those who are positively behind the candidate of the Labour Party, that this, for me, I have seen an opportunity for the Southeast to be relevant in the next dispensation. In NNP, in PDP, they are completely out. So also in the APC. The only opportunity now is the NNPP. Now, we are aware that in the social media, a lot of work is going on. The young men and women, especially of the Southeast extraction, are working towards getting a presidency. But the fact remains on the ground that even the entire zone, any zone in this country, decides to vote for a particular person, that person, going by our Constitution, the provision in the Constitution, cannot be president. And I think the Constitution was deliberate to ensure that everybody is involved in the country. And I believe that it is in the interest of the Labour Party and the NNPP, and even in the interest of this country, because we have seen a situation today where many people in the Southeast believe that they are being marginalized. And it will even be worse, actually, if they are not involved in the 2023 project, because LP, as it stands today, certainly it cannot win election.
Really?
Oh yes, it cannot win election.
It cannot win a presidential election?
Not
Why
in
do you think they cannot?
Well, because mainly the support is mainly in particular zone. There is just no spread. And the figures there cannot earn anybody presidential seat in this country.
But they're saying that they have the workers, the labor behind them.
Well, maybe you don't know the history of the labor itself. We tried to be in the labor when we were sourcing for a particular party. After INEC told us clearly that it was not willing to register any party between 2019 and 2023, the party was actually factionalized. If the labor is there, of course, and the labor is a union, is all for all of us, especially the NNPP. Because we are the people, we are the party that actually is sympathetic to workers in this country. I was a civil servant myself for 17 years in Kano. So ordinarily, if not because of what I'm doing now, I would have been a retired officer myself. This is the situation as it stands today.
Now, you are afraid of a fifth columnist within the Labour Party. Is it the major reason why you are not, why things have not come to fruition?
Well, I believe so, and I think the Labour Party and, of course, all the supporters of the Labour Party, especially my good friends and brothers, people of the Southeast, I have a particular, in fact, many reasons why I personally, as Rabiu Kwankwanso, is sympathetic to the Southeast. And I think the relationship between the Labour Party and NNPP will cool down a lot of issues in the Southeast as it stands today, because that's the only way the Southeast can be relevant. We don't want a situation whereby a particular section of this country would feel that it's being marginalized. And already we have a lot of tension there. And this tension is not good for the Southeast. It's not good for the country. We have a situation today in this country where in that part of the country, Mondays, the whole zone is being shut. So many people are being killed. So many businesses are being wasted, and so on and so forth. And that is why I take this opportunity to say that the leaders at that level should think positively so that this marriage can work. They should avoid talking to the people. You know, in this part of the country, we have at least the person the people are talking about in the social media and so on and so forth, who pretends to be very close to Peter Obi himself, while everybody knows he has a political party. He is promoting the person in that political party in the PDP, yet pretending to say, look, we'll want president to come from the south, especially the southeast, while we had somebody from the south.
Who is this person you're talking about?
No, we don't want to have to go to that details now, but the details will certainly come very soon.
But Mr. Obi needs to be weary of such
I think he should be concerned because he himself believes that he's very close to him. And he is misleading him. He's misleading the Labour Party and so on and so forth. So I mean, you see, the idea is if this marriage works, for example, with Obi as the president, the implication is his own candidate in the PDP will be the biggest beneficiary, because the North today, you see, the way we operate politically in this country is not very clear to many people. Fortunately, the Northern voters have always got their own opinion. And it is hardly influenced by any elite or anybody we can think of. For example, if you look at the issue of the case of Muhammadu Buhari, over the years, the northern voters decided that it was him. And even when the elites, most of the elites didn't like him, they still don't like him, but they made up their minds over the years that any time we had an election, he will have certain votes from the northern voters. And these northern voters, again, have made up their minds on what to do.
Right now?
Vote. Oh, yes. There is nothing, nobody, no elite.
Have they made up their mind? Who are they hoping to vote for?
The northern, certainly NNPP. Nobody can change it.
I mean, you say you do. How did you know this?
I'm just from going around the country, and we have our structures everywhere. And that's the situation. Now, you see, the game plan was to make sure that Southeast is not involved in this project. And the implication is that now is double-edged sword. If, for example, anybody, I'm not too particular about Peter, anybody from the Southeast, under this circumstance, will be very difficult, really, for voters, because they have made up their minds.
I mean, so if you look in the way of someone like Kingsley Moghalu, for example, which people are talking about,
who?
I mean, Kingsley Moghalu, the former deputy governor of the state.
Yes.
Are you considering him too?
No, anybody. You see, we are open. We're still up to 15th of this month. You see, whether Dr. Moghalu or my friend Peter Obi or any other person from the Southeast, now, I believe that will be very happy. And even anybody from the South. So
you're hoping to pick a running mate from the Southeast?
That's my choice.
Okay. Things
being equal, that's the choice of our party. Because you see, we'll
or maybe they're even thinking that you might be the running mate to Peter Obi?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is what the enemy outside there is saying. The implication is that if you put somebody from the Southeast, unfortunately, there are many issues in the Southeast. You see, northern voter is the worst hit on this issue of maladministration in this country. But even under that circumstance, a northern voter also believes that he is better with one united Nigeria. And therefore, most of the things that are happening in the South, especially in the Southeast, people are not comfortable with that. And as long as you have somebody from there in any party, it will be very difficult for the northern voters to vote. And that's the situation now. And those workers who are against, in the actual sense, working against LP, Southeast, and so on, what they believe is if you put anybody under this arrangement from that side of the country, the northern voters will not vote. And who will they vote? Their own candidate in the southeast. I mean, in the north.
So can you or would you be a running mate to Peter Obi?
That's what I'm saying.
Would you like to be as a person, personally?
Ordinarily, you see, I'm jobless now. I'm not doing any job.
So
to become a vice president
you
is a big thing.
Vice president.
But what I'm telling you is that if anybody from the south is now under this circumstance, becomes the presidential candidate of our party or any other party, the implication is that because of the activities and many other issues that are real on the ground, northern voters will certainly go for their northern candidate in another party.
So the thinking
is that it's not whether I like it or I don't like it. The fact remains that
the numbers,
everybody will lose. The number, he will lose, I will lose.
So if Peter Obi is coming to join you, it will be your running mate.
That's as long as you want to vote from the north, that's the situation, fortunately or unfortunately, today.
Is this the reason why you said Peter Obi cannot win without you?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that any zone, no zone, even the Northwest, where I come from, which has got the biggest number of voters in this country, and they are very much willing to come out en masse, more than ever before in this country because of the realities on the ground. Before 2015 election, there was close to nothing in terms of banditry, people who are being killed, houses and properties being destroyed. It was not there. But in the last 7-8 years, we had all these issues on the ground. So certainly you will have so many people, many millions of votes are coming out of the Northwest and even in the North, because people are concerned. It's not only a particular section that is concerned, because people are worried. People are angry with the situation on the ground, and therefore people are willing to come and vote. We have seen a situation where we have a lot of mobilization from a particular zone or zones of this country. And as that action is taking place, there are also a reaction from all parts of this country, especially from the north. People, the young men and women are registering themselves even in the north. And I'm sure they will continue to do that, especially with the increase in terms of number, in terms of days that were given by INEC. So, you see, people will come out and vote, and they will come and defend their votes. And we are happy the president has signed the electoral law, which will make it a little bit more difficult for people to go and rig an election the way they did in the past.
So